You ever wonder why some people seem to have it all together, while others are constantly struggling just to keep up? You see them, the ones who walk with a purpose, who speak with confidence, who seem unshakable no matter what life throws at them. And you ask yourself, what's their secret? It's not luck. It's not raw talent. It's not even about having more opportunities handed to them on a silver platter. It all comes down to one simple, powerful, and life-altering concept: control. This isn't about controlling other people or manipulating the world around you. This is about something far more profound. It's about internal control. Control over what you say, control over what you think, control over how you feel, and control over how you manage your resources. Let me tell you something, and I want you to let this sink deep into your soul. If you can master your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money, you can master your life. Most people drift through their days, completely unaware that the power to change everything is already inside them, a sleeping giant waiting to be awakened. But if you don't control these four things, they will control you. They will become the invisible chains that hold you back, the silent storms that shake your world. These four pillars influence every decision you make, every relationship you build, and every single opportunity you either seize or let slip through your fingers. Control them, and you control your destiny. Let them run wild, and you'll find yourself adrift in a sea of chaos, ending up in a place you never, ever wanted to be. So today, we're going to dive deep. We're not scratching the surface. We are going to the core. We're going to break it all down, and when I'm done, I promise you, you'll walk away from this with a newfound sense of focus, a fire in your belly, and a profound sense of responsibility over the masterpiece that is your life. Pillar 1, control your mouth. Let's talk about your mouth. When I say control your mouth, I'm not just telling you to hold your tongue when you're angry, although that is crucial. I am talking about realizing the immense power that is unleashed with every single word you speak. The words you speak are like arrows shot from a bow. Once they leave your lips, you can't take them back. They will find their target. So many people don't realize this. They talk without thinking, spitting out negativity, gossip, and doubt without a second thought for the impact. But the truth is, the words that come out of your mouth have the power to shape your reality, your relationships, and your future. When you speak, you're not just describing the world around you, you are creating it. The words you use build the very foundation of your existence. If you constantly speak about how hard life is, how unfair things are, or how impossible your dreams seem, you are literally casting a spell on your own life. You are creating an environment of struggle that reflects those very words. You're putting that negative energy out into the universe, and the universe, it responds in kind. On the flip side, when you speak with faith, when you declare possibility, when you encourage others and build them up, you're creating an environment where success and positivity can't help but flourish. Think about the people who truly inspire you. Do they speak doubt? Do they tear others down? Or do they use their words to uplift, to push forward, and to open doors for themselves and for others? That is the kind of power you hold, the power to speak life into any situation. And sometimes, the most powerful way to control your mouth is with silence. In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, having the discipline to listen, to truly absorb what another person is saying without immediately formulating your response, is a superpower. It shows respect. It builds trust. It gives you the space to choose your words with wisdom rather than reacting with impulse. Before you speak, ask yourself, does this moment require my voice or does it require my ear? But that same power can do devastating damage if you're reckless. You've got to be deliberate about the words you use. So the next time you're about to speak, stop for a second. Pause. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say going to build or destroy? Is this going to help the situation or make it worse? Is this based in truth or is it based on my own emotional frustration? Too often, people let their emotions hijack their words and they say things they instantly regret. But once it's out there, it's out there. You can apologize, you can try to make things right, but the scar remains. The damage is done. That's why you have to be intentional. And here's the thing, this isn't just about how you talk to others, it's about how you talk to yourself. Self-talk is real, the inner dialogue you have, the words you choose when you think about your own life, your own capabilities, your own future. Those words are shaping your reality from the inside out. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or it's just too hard, guess what? You're going to start believing it. You will shrink yourself to fit the narrative you created. You'll begin to act as if those limitations are real, when in fact they're just a reflection of the negativity you've been speaking over yourself. But when you flip the script, when you start speaking positive, affirming, powerful words to yourself, everything changes. When you wake up in the morning and tell yourself, I can handle whatever comes my way today. I am more than capable. I deserve success and happiness. That's when you begin to build the confidence and the mindset you need to move mountains. You speak yourself into strength. You speak yourself into courage. And before long, those words become actions. And those actions turn into habits that shape your glorious future. Controlling your mouth isn't about silence. It's about intention. It's about understanding that every word that leaves your lips is either contributing to your success or setting you back. It's about recognizing that your words have power over your relationships, your opportunities, and your own self-perception. Look, life will throw challenges at you. That's a guarantee. But when you choose your words carefully, you can navigate those challenges with a sense of control and purpose. When you speak words of wisdom, positivity, and truth, you attract those very things into your life. People will start to see you differently. They'll respect you more. They'll come to you for advice because they know you're someone who speaks with intention, someone who uses words as tools for building, not for tearing down. Think of your words as seeds. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, that is the harvest you will reap. But if you plant seeds of faith, determination, and positivity, that is what will grow in the garden of your life. Be mindful of the seeds you're planting because you're going to have to live in the garden you create. If you want to see change in your life, it starts with what you say. Stop speaking defeat into your life. Stop saying, I can't, and start declaring, I will. Stop talking about what's going wrong and start speaking about what's possible. Your words can lift someone up when they're feeling down. Your words can inspire someone to keep going when they're ready to give up. Be a source of strength. So let's bring it back to this idea of control. You can control what you say. You can choose to speak words that empower, uplift, and inspire. Speak life into your future, into your relationships, and into your own self-worth. And watch how the world changes around you. Pillar 2, control your mind. Let's get real about your mind. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It's the command center. It's where everything begins. Every action, every decision, every habit you build. It's all rooted in your thoughts. Your mind is where battles are won or lost long before they ever manifest in your physical life. You have to understand this, because if you don't control your mind, it will control you. And when that happens, you end up living a life that's reactive instead of proactive. A life driven by fears and doubts instead of purpose and intention. Think about it. Everything you've ever achieved, good or bad, started with a single thought. That's why the saying, as a man thinketh, so is he, is so profoundly true. Your life is shaped, molded, and directed by the thoughts you allow to take root in your mind. What you focus on expands. If your mind is a garden filled with the weeds of negativity, fear, and doubt, that's the harvest your life will yield. But if you intentionally plant seeds of growth, possibility, and determination, you'll start moving toward those things with unstoppable momentum. Too many people let their minds run wild. They worry about what might go wrong, about what other people think, or about whether they're good enough. And once those thoughts take hold, they spiral. One negative thought breeds another, and pretty soon they're trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and anxiety, paralyzed by the very thoughts they allowed to control them. This includes replaying past failures. Your past does not define your future unless you allow it to live rent-free in your mind today. You have to learn the lesson and then let the emotion of the failure go. Forgive yourself. Every master was once a disaster. Every pro was once an amateur. Dwelling on past mistakes is like driving a car while looking only in the rearview mirror. You have to look forward to see where you're going. But you don't have to live like that. You can change the narrative playing out in your mind. You can choose to control your thoughts. And when you do, you take back control of your life. Controlling your mind isn't about ignoring the hard stuff or pretending that fear doesn't exist. Fear is real. Doubt is real. But what you do with those feelings, that's what makes all the difference. Are you going to let fear build a cage around you, or are you going to acknowledge it, look it in the eye, and keep moving forward anyway? That is the choice you get to make every single day. When you control your mind, you don't eliminate fear. You rise above it. You learn to manage it, to push through it, and to keep going, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. This is where mental discipline comes in. You must train your mind the same way an athlete trains their body. You don't just wake up one day with mental strength. It is built over time with intentionality and relentless effort. You've got to be a guardian at the gate of your mind. Be deliberate about what you allow in. Too many people feed their minds a steady diet of garbage, negative news, toxic social media drama, endless complaining, and then wonder why they feel so stressed and overwhelmed. What you consume mentally is just as important as what you consume physically. If you're constantly feeding your mind with negativity, it's no wonder you're struggling. So what do? You guard your mind like it's the most valuable treasure you own, because it is. Be selective. If it doesn't feed your spirit, if it doesn't align with your goals, if it doesn't inspire you, let it go. Instead, fill your mind with things that challenge you, that push you to grow, that inspire you to be better. Read books that expand your perspective. Listen to people who motivate you, who've walked the path you want to walk, and surround yourself with people who lift you up. The company you keep has a huge impact on your mindset. If you hang around negative, doubtful people, that energy will poison you. But if you surround yourself with driven, focused, positive people, that energy is contagious. Controlling your mind also means being intentional about your thoughts in real time. When a negative thought creeps in, and it will, you've got to catch it, challenge it, and replace it with something better. Don't let negative thoughts sit there and fester. Challenge them. Flip the script. Replace "I can't" with "How can I?" Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I am learning and growing every day." Another powerful tool is visualization. When you visualize your goals, your dreams, your success, you're training your mind to focus on what you want rather than what you're afraid of. When you can see it clearly in your mind, you start to believe it's possible. And once you believe, you start taking the actions necessary to make it a reality. Visualization is programming your mind for success. Meditation and prayer are also powerful ways to seize control. When you take time each day to quiet your thoughts, to center yourself, you give your mind the space it needs to recharge and refocus. You become an observer of your thoughts, which gives you the power to choose which ones to engage with. The bottom line is this: controlling your mind is a daily practice. It's a commitment to yourself, to your goals, and to your future. It's about taking radical responsibility for your thoughts. When you control your mind, you take back control of your destiny. You are in the driver's seat. So start today. Take control of your mind. Because when you do that, there is nothing you can't achieve. Pillar 3, control your mood. Now let's dive into something that people often overlook, but which plays a huge role in how their lives unfold. Your mood. Your mood is the lens through which you see the world. If that lens is smudged with anger, frustration, or sadness, then everything you look at will be distorted. You've seen it happen. Someone wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and for the rest of the day, they carry that dark cloud with them. Every interaction is tense. Every small obstacle feels like a catastrophe. They walk around as if the whole world is against them, when in reality, it's their mood that's the problem. They've let a fleeting emotion hijack their entire day. But here's what you need to realize. Your mood doesn't just happen to you. You have more control over it than you think. Your mood is not some external force you are powerless against. Your mood is a choice. It's something you can regulate, something you can manage, no matter what's happening around you. And when you understand that, everything starts to change. Let's be clear. Emotions are real and valid. I'm not saying you should ignore how you feel. If you're angry, you're angry. If you're sad, you're sad. But just because you feel something doesn't mean you have to let it control you. Feelings are like waves in the ocean. They rise, they fall, they come, and they go. You don't have to be swept away by them. You can learn to ride the wave instead of drowning in it. This also means building emotional resilience. Resilience isn't about not getting knocked down. It's about how quickly you get back up. When you face a setback, do you let it ruin your day, your week, your month? Or do you allow yourself to feel the disappointment? learn from it, and then consciously decide to move forward. Controlling your mood is about shortening the time you spend wallowing in negativity. It's a muscle you build. The more you practice bouncing back, the stronger your emotional core becomes. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing their feelings are facts. They are not. Just because you feel stressed doesn't mean your day is doomed. It's just an emotion. It's temporary. The moment you recognize that your mood is fluid and can be changed, you take back your power. It starts with awareness. Most people go through their day on emotional autopilot. They react instead of responding. But when you become aware of your mood, when you check in with yourself and ask, how am I feeling right now? You give yourself the power to shift that energy. You become the one in the driver's seat. How many times have you let something small set a negative tone for your whole day? Stuck in traffic, a rude comment. Before you know it, you're carrying that frustration with you, snapping at people, letting it snowball. But when you control your mood, you can stop that snowball. You can pause, take a breath, and choose how you want to respond. You can choose to let it go. That's the key. Choice. You always have a choice, and you can influence that choice physically. Your mind and body are connected. If you feel down, get up and move. Go for a walk. Put on some music that makes you feel alive. Change your posture. Stand up straight, pull your shoulders back. A simple physical shift can trigger a powerful emotional shift. Don't underestimate the power of your physiology to dictate your psychology. And one of the most powerful tools for this is gratitude. When you focus on what you're grateful for, it is almost impossible to stay in a negative state. Gratitude forces you to recognize that no matter what's going wrong, there is still something going right. It changes your perspective from what you lack to what you have. When you find yourself in a bad mood, stop. Take a moment and list 3 things you are grateful for. It could be as simple as the breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, or a person who loves you. Let that feeling of gratitude fill you up. It changes everything. Your mindset is also crucial. Your mood is a direct reflection of your thoughts. If you want to control your mood, start by controlling your mind. Choose to see challenges as opportunities and setbacks as lessons. And don't forget your energy. Your mood is contagious. The energy you put out into the world comes back to you. If you walk around with a negative attitude, you'll attract more negativity. But if you are positive, optimistic, and grateful, that energy will attract more of the same. People will want to be around you. Opportunities will find you. So take control of your mood. Don't let it control you. You have the power to shift your energy at any moment. Choose gratitude, choose positivity, choose to control your mood, because when you do, you take control of your life. Pillar 4, control your money. And finally, let's talk about money. This one's big. I'm not just talking about dollars and cents. I'm talking about your entire mindset and relationship with money. Money can be a powerful tool for freedom, or it can be the shackles that keep you stressed, worried, and trapped. Too many people are controlled by their money or by the lack of it. They're living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, feeling powerless. They don't have a plan, and because of that, they feel like they're constantly fighting a losing battle. But the truth is, money, just like your mind and your mood, is something you can and must control. First, let's get something straight. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money, the obsession with it, that leads to trouble. Money itself is neutral. It's a tool. And how you use that tool makes all the difference. You can use it to build a life of freedom and impact, or you can use it recklessly and dig yourself into a deeper hole. The choice is yours. So how do you control your money? It starts with a plan, a budget. You have to know where every single dollar is going before it even arrives. Too many people are just spending without thinking, driven by impulse and emotion. If you want to control your money, you must be proactive. Budgeting isn't restrictive. Budgeting is freedom. When you have a budget, you are telling your money what to do instead of wondering where it all went. You're in control. And when you're in control, you stop letting emotions drive your spending. We've all been there, had a bad day and bought something to feel better. But that kind of emotional spending is a trap. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of debt and stress. You have to be smarter than that. You have to think long term. This also means resisting lifestyle inflation. As you earn more, it's natural to want to spend more. A bigger house, a fancier car. But if your spending rises just as fast as your income, you are still trapped. You're just running on a more expensive treadmill. True financial control is when the gap between what you earn and what you spend gets wider over time. That gap is where your freedom is built. That means saving. That means investing. That means living below your means, even when it feels like everyone else is living it up. Start by building an emergency fund. Life will throw you curveballs. If you don't have money set aside, a small problem can quickly become a massive crisis. Once you have your emergency fund, start thinking about your future. Retirement, investments, building wealth that lasts. And wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. It's about building a legacy, creating financial freedom for yourself and for generations to come. It's shifting from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset. A consumer asks, what can this money buy me today? An investor asks, what can this money become for me tomorrow? You must make your money work for you, not just you work for it. Financial freedom isn't about having millions in the bank. It's about being in control. It's about having options. It's about living life on your terms. So here's what you need to do. Get clear on where your money's going, track your spending, create a budget that reflects your true priorities, make sure you're saving and investing for the long term. It is never too late to start. I don't care if you're 25 or 55. It's never too late to take control of your money. It will take sacrifice. It will take discipline, but it is worth it because when you control your money, you're not just building wealth, you're building freedom. Conclusion: the power is in your hands. Let's bring it all together. Control your mouth, control your mind, control your mood, control your money. These are the pillars that will determine the quality of your life. They are interconnected. A negative mind will lead to a negative mood. A bad mood will lead to poor financial decisions. Poor financial decisions will create stress, which sours your words and poisons your mind. It's a cycle, but you can make it a cycle of victory instead of a cycle of defeat. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not at the mercy of life's ups and downs. You have the power to shape your reality, to create your future, and to live a life that is full of purpose, meaning, and success. But it all starts with taking control. Your words will create the world you live in. Your mind will determine your direction. Your mood will attract your experiences. Your money will fund your freedom. This isn't just about you. When you take control of your life, you create a ripple effect. You inspire the people around you. You're showing them what's possible. You become a leader, a light in a world that desperately needs it. So don't wait. Don't sit back and let life happen to you. Take control. It won't be easy. It won't be quick, but it will be worth it. And when you look back one day, you'll see that you didn't just live your life. You created it. You shaped it. You owned it. The power has been in your hands all along. So I have one final question for you. What are you going to do with it?